everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of My Mom, Sandy. We are your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the woman next to me would be the only woman to survive the zombie apocalypse. This is my mom, Sandy.
And I only can survive the zombie apocalypse. Because I've already scoped out the worst case scenario, so I know exactly what to do if that should occur.
And what a great lead-in to episode 15.
Oh, I hope we're not doing what I think you think we're doing.
We're talking about apocalypses.
Apocalypse.
What is the difference between an apocalypse and an apocalypse?
Apocalypse would be somebody who had a lot of botox.
Oh, because their lips popped. That was good.
Just so you know.
That was really good.
Right off the cuff.
Yeah,
That's apocalypse.
It only took 15 episodes for you to kind of open up with your stand-up comedy routine.
There you go. You want to hear some more stand-up comedy?
Tell me, what are we drinking?
We're drinking like really shitty Bloody Marys, okay?
I lost my toothpick.
Uh-oh. Don't swallow it.
I don't. Yeah. Well, luckily it has olives attached to it. That would be a.
Okay, so I'm going to take a drink. Josh was kind enough to buy this Bloody Mary mix at Whole Foods a while back, and we haven't used it. So we decided today that even though it's early for a cocktail, look at you digging your finger through there. I can hear that.
I can't find it.
Maybe the people took it. The ghost people.
The apocalypse people?
The apocalypse. So, anyway, so we're drinking. So, we decided we'd have a cocktail today because we haven't done that for a while. So, Josh didn't want me to taste it until we got on air, and I know why.
Well, I'd never had it. It's not like I was holding. I wasn't trying to be secretive about it. I'd never had it.
Ooh, I just had one. It's like so spicy, I can't tell you. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't think I can drink that.
You can drink it.
I do have some V8. It's not the spicy one, but we could take the V8 and water down the spicy.
You got to drink a little bit of. You got to drink a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My throat is kind of slightly on fire.
I know. I need a lime and a salt shaker just to tone down the flavors.
Doing body shots over here.
We could.
Yeah, I mean the bottle of so it was a Whole Foods like Bloody Mary mix. It was on it was in like a clearance section. They're like getting rid of it.
Now we know why.
A little too spicy for people. I think it says hot and spicy on the side, but you never really know. I'm not a huge fan of pre-made Bloody Mary mixes. I like when it's you do the V8, then you do some Worcestershire, and then you do a little Tabasco,
a little celery salt
on the rim. Yeah.
I do have celery salt. I don't know why do we never use that?
I don't think it would have made a difference for this one.
But I might have to crack out that V8 just to be able to get this one down.
Well, you let me know. Is it in the fridge?
No, it's actually not. It's in the cupboard.
Okay.
Behind the cat food.
Okay. Perfect. You let me know. I'll reach for it, and you can.
I can carry the show
exactly.
while you go get our buffer for our drink.
Drink buffer, vocal padding, and drink buffering.
There you go.
So we're kind of Halloween's over. We're 2 months away from the end of the year, and I felt like now would be a goodest time as any. What is it? What is the saying?
The best time as any.
That's not it.
I don't know. It's not goodest. I know that.
Well, this would be the goodest, the
gooder
time than any. It'd be a gooder time than any to talk about Sandy Fasten's worst case scenario.
Yes.
So
I hope you have examples because
you don't.
Well, because off the top of my head, I don't have. I couldn't say this and this and this, but we just spoke to your friend Peter who got back from
South
Africa. I forgot to ask him if he swam with the sharks.
What was that voice?
That's my South African voice. It's my Keith Morrison voice.
Dateline Keith Morrison is not from South
Africa. Well, if I was really talking South African, I would speak with a British accent. Which, by the way, I noticed on going on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
that Nikki, even though she lives in Indonesia somewhere, is married to a South African.
She is.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I guess they just won some big soccer thing, or
Nikki and her husband?
no, South Africa.
Oh. I don't follow.
Some big sporting event that's
If they did,
a big deal for
if they
them.
did, congratulations.
Yeah, no, they did. You don't look at her posts on Instagram?
I mean, I follow so many people. It's hard to...
No, I hardly follow any, so I don't even know who they are.
I did post something the other day, and it said, oh, my Mom Sandy podcast watched your thing, and I was like, oh wow, mom is watching.
What?
I like posted a story,
Yeah.
and it said that you had watched it.
What was the story? Was it about the haircut?
No.
Cal Peterson?
No, it might have been something about Halloween.
Oh.
Okay, so for everyone that...
Housekeeping first. Do we have housekeeping?
I have nothing.
Boy, you're boring.
Mine is that the year's almost over. And
Well, I think
said it.
Teresa was hoping that we would do a recap of the 90 Day Fiancé stuff, and to be honest, I don't know, what could we recap? Caesar's an idiot. Darcy and Tom. I'd give you a napkin, but here.
I literally just spilled
You did.
all over myself.
Darcy and Tom are probably not going to make it, but that shouldn't be news to anybody. Darcy's like way too fucking needy. They did start the new season last night, and not so impressed.
I don't think I'll get that back to you.
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome.
I could maybe twirl that and
Anxiety napkin.
anxiety napkin.
I
later
did
on.
not think, and I don't want to go too far off here, but I just didn't. Is your mouth on fire?
My mouth's on fire.
The heavy breathing.
Yes.
I just don't. I thought that 90 Day Fiancé it's a show that kind of like starts off strong, and then as it goes on, it's like eventually you get sick of like watching the car crash, right? You get sick of watching the...
Well, I think you had a good point when you said once, and you kind of need to binge watch it. Like you watch it all at once, and that's it. Although, it doesn't give you anything exciting to look forward to during the week. Mouth on fire, is it?
You know what I kind of wish they did is I wish that it was like how many couples are there? Like 6?
No, I don't know. 6, 7, 8, whatever.
So I wish that they did like... Let's just say there's 8 couples, that each episode was a specific couple's story from beginning to end.
That would be interesting.
Because they jump around so much, and
if you don't see it one week, then
yeah,
you
and that was the thing. It's like I just don't always have the time to watch the show. I don't watch, actually, surprisingly, I don't watch a ton of television. So I think it's that thing where it's like you miss an episode or you miss something, and it's like, every time it would come on, it was like, oh. Yeah, well, fucking Darcy's still crazy, right? Like, she's still bananas. And,
her problem is she really does drink too much. And when she drinks, she's just a mess. And when she drinks and she's around her twin sister, oh my God, the competition is just, what one twin wants, the other one has to have as well. Or what the one twin has, the other one wants. It's crazy. Anyway, the new season did start last night, and we'll have to see where it goes. Like I said, I'm not that impressed. Although I am, there is a guy who went, his girl is in the Dominican Republic, and apparently they met online, and, which is how they all meet. Except this one gal. I'll tell you about this one gal. She's a real whore. But anyway, I already don't like her, but not for that reason. But anyway, this guy, he met this gal online, and he decided he wanted to meet her in person. So he booked a cruise that stopped for a day in the Dominican Republic. He met the girl, for the day. He proposed to her that day. And that's the only time they've seen each other. And she got a K-1 visa, which blows my mind because other couples have to go through, they have to apply for it. They have to document all their meetings with pictures and, that they really have a relationship. And they're just letting this gal from the Dominican Republic just waltz right on in here and she's never been to the country. The guy's been to her country for one day. That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I just don't really. I
just want to know who makes the rules and why is it so difficult for some couples to get in and others not. I don't
Well,
really
I've got to imagine though too that and whatever they tell you, but I got to imagine that the show helps that process or is involved in that process or that I don't know.
No, I heard they actually take that it's a public record, the people that are applying or have received K-1 visas.
Or the show just starts cold calling people?
Yeah, I think they get a list of people that are.
I don't know though. I don't know.
I mean, what are you going to do? Walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, you want to be on our 90-day fiancé show?" You go online and find yourself somebody that you can.
You were the one that said Caesar that he was doing the show to try to be an actor.
Well, all the Caesar stuff from what I read occurred. I mean, it did occur, but it occurred like 2 or 3 years ago.
So what? So then he hits up the chick again and goes,
she was on the tell-all.
I know, but so then he hits her up and goes, hey.
She's a bitch. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, but, so what? So Caesar just, hey, I got this opportunity. I want to try my acting. Can I have you, can we do some phone recordings?
I don't know. I'm hearing air. Do you hear?
I think my computer's about to explode. I got a lot of stuff on it right now. It's not good. So let's get into, because that was kind of a tangent. Do you have any other housekeeping?
Not that I can think of offhand.
Great. So for everyone that doesn't know, you have a way of going about things looking at the worst possible scenario of what could happen.
Yes, well, my motto is knowledge is power.
Right.
So if you know what you're getting into.
So, for example, years ago, Sam... Mouth on fire?
Mouth is on fire.
Years ago, Sam wanted to go... Where did she go? She studied abroad in Europe.
Yes.
And there was a big issue. Can you not open your tea? And there was a big issue with her going over to Europe because you thought what? That she was going to get mugged, raped, kidnapped?
Well, there wasn't a big issue. It's just that,
But you discussed it with her. I mean, this was a thing that you discussed before she left.
Well, yes, there's a lot of pickpockets. She went to Italy and she went to Germany and Austria. But the majority of the time they spent in Italy. So, and there's a lot of, read about it on the internet. There's a lot of pickpocketing going on there. Pickpocketing going on there. Anyway, yes, so we talked about it and I made her buy a money belt.
There you go.
She could wear under her clothing. But that's not so unusual. Didn't Peter say he did that when he was in South Africa?
I don't think he bought a money belt, no. No.
All right, get him on the phone.
I mean, if he wasn't working right now, I would do a phone call to him. So that was the big thing. So on Sam's trip, it was you need to buy a money belt because you're going to get pickpocketed.
You may get pickpocketed. Not that you're going to get pickpocketed, but you may.
But it's probably going to happen.
It's a possibility.
Right.
I do know, like my brother traveled around Europe for your Uncle Mike for several months or whenever.
Years ago
with a girlfriend. And I know they had like a suitcase stolen, I think, off, or a backpack stolen off of the whatever their train system is over there.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff happens.
I mean, it does happen. Again, you read about it all the time. So I just feel like if you're prepared, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't walk into another country, a foreign country especially, with your eyes closed. Like the gal who got off the flight in India and said, "Oh, my cell phone don't work." Well, of course your cell phone don't work, bitch.
That was a 90-day fiancé.
Yeah, it's a 90-day fiancé reference, but of course it doesn't work. How can you be so stupid to go to a foreign country, especially like India? I mean, I could see if you were going to, India's probably still considered third world country. So really, you think that all the modern conveniences that you have here, you're going to have there? Why be shocked when your cell phone doesn't work? Why didn't you check with your cell phone carrier before you went?
Yeah. But so Peter just went to South Africa, and you guys had discussed, because he was here the other day, you guys had talked about, was it the crime?
The crime, because of the 90-day fiancé. They, the gal Tiffany went over there and decided to come back to the United States because the crime was just, really bad. They talked about kidnapping children, little boys, everything's like fenced in and electrical fences. I mean, that's pretty. And so I asked him, I said, was it like that? And he said, yeah. Well, he said Cape Town wasn't, but Johannesburg was.
Yeah.
And he said it was, he could see, it's kind of a sketchy shade.
Yeah, because they don't just rob you, they rape you and kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like crazy. Oh, I guess he said there's like some drug there that they take that's...
Makes them very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I think it was called Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, no. That's what happens when you have too much Botox in your lips. You get apocalypse. Apocalypse Now.
So then with you, that was a famous movie from the 80s.
Apocalypse Now,
Apocalypse
yes.
Now?
Apocalypse
Based on
Now.
a book?
Based on a book about big lips.
About big lips.
Uh-huh.
So then you also, I was waiting for one to happen, but I don't know if we're going to get one, but earthquakes, you always kind of thought, if we, when are we going to have the big one? The big one's coming. And I guess, again, it is that knowledge is power. Because we have a...
Well, you need to know what you're going to do in a case like that. Just like if you're going to swim in the ocean, you need to know what to do if a shark attacks you. Okay?
But we have a...
why would you blindly go... I don't know.
Well, we have we have a newspaper article on the fridge in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And what is it? What does it say?
I don't know. It's...
Are you prepared?
Is that what it says? Are you prepared? Yeah. It talks about, how you should have water and food for, anywhere from 3 to 7 days.
For the big earthquake.
You should have batteries, flashlights. You could be without power. I do know people that went through the Northridge quake and they had quite a bit of damage to their home. And one of the things that happened, because Josh thinks I'm crazy, I actually have strings on my kitchen cupboards.
Yeah,
on the handles.
Explain the strings.
Well, the strings are there to hold the cupboards closed in case there is an earthquake so that things don't go flying out. Now, I know that sounds weird and people be like, oh, and on top of that, I have on all my pictures and because a lot of my pictures are glass framed, and my knickknacks and stuff that I have on the bookshelves, they all have earthquake putty underneath them. So this would have been a really good one to have when we were doing, if we had an earthquake.
I know. Well, we can, when we have the big one,
we can talk about how much fun it was. Anyway, the reason I do all that is because during the Northridge quake, people who lived in Northridge told me that what happened is their kitchen cupboards flew open and all their dishes came crashing down, breaking on the floor. And, we did have a earthquake here once where a picture fell. My Wayne Gretzky picture fell and the glass broke.
The great one.
Yeah. And I haven't replaced the glass. That might be a good Christmas gift.
Oh.
Instead of knives.
You should tell Santa.
Yes. Santa.
So you moved into this house and one of the first things you did was...
I don't know if it was one of the first things I did, but at our last house we had similar. We had, the child safety locks on the cupboards because we bought that house prior to having kids. And when we had the kids, that's what we did. We put those locks on so you wouldn't hurt yourselves.
Were they on there so that we wouldn't hurt ourselves, or were they on there for the big earthquake?
Twofold.
Double whammy.
Well, yeah. At that time, I probably hadn't thought about earthquake issues. It really wasn't until the Northridge quake, because these people, they had pets, they had cats, and they had no power. I don't know how long they were without power, but they had broken glass all over the place. Excuse me. And they couldn't clean it up. They couldn't vacuum it. So what they ended up having to do, I don't know, maybe they might, I don't know if they had brooms or what. But
dustpan and a broom.
Yeah, well that would be what you'd have to do. But what they ended up having to do as well, so that the cats didn't get, step in the broken glass, was they had to put sheets and blankets over the broken glass so that the cats would be somewhat protected. So anyway,
you're prepared.
Well, if we have an earthquake, I'm hoping the strings hold.
Yeah, could you imagine if we had the big one and the strings didn't hold, or the earthquake
or
failed?
Or that Josh got something out of the cupboard and didn't restring it?
I know.
Yeah. Shame on you. Listen, it's stuff like that. It's things like what beaches to swim at and what beaches not to swim at. Right.
So if you're going to go swimming at the beach, you have to be careful of
sharks.
Sharks, of course, right? Because
jellyfish too.
Jellyfish. Riptides.
Yeah, Caitlin really likes the beach, eh?
She loves the beach. Have you ever seen the rib jelly shark?
The rib jelly shark?
Yeah.
I think I saw it once on a documentary.
It's a mythical creature. It's a shark with jellyfish attached to it, and when it swims, it actually creates riptides.
Wow,
that's spicy.
It is spicy.
Okay.
So so basically, if you're going to swim in the ocean, you don't swim where a river empties into the ocean.
Okay.
You don't swim where the water is murky. You don't swim where you see seals and turtles, sea turtles.
Wait, seals and turtles and sea turtles?
No,
or
just sea turtles and seals.
Seal turtles.
Well, those are
seal turtles.
Don't stop. Come on, you're poking the bear again. Those are favorite dishes of certain sharks. Tiger sharks like sea turtles. And I think like great whites like the seals. Oh, I think they all like the seals. I'm not sure.
All right,
I'd have to ask them.
All right, so let's recap for a second.
So what else? What other...
Well, so let's recap and then we're going to keep going. If you go to Europe, you need to have a money belt because you're going to get pickpocketed.
You may get pickpocketed. Stop it. You're not gonna get pickpocketed, but you may get pickpocketed.
If you live in California, you should have earthquake putty for your knickknacks in your...
Yes, and apparently you should have all your personal belongings somewhere close by so that when the fire comes to destroy your house...
Yeah, you can grab the stuff
You can
and go.
grab all your stuff and go.
So now...
And you always want to have gas in your tank. Or a charge in your electric car.
Yeah. I didn't know. When you said gas in the tank, I was like, is she talking about eating beans?
No, I'm talking about gasoline in your car.
Car tank.
Yes. I usually don't let my car get much past half a tank.
Of course you don't.
Hey, you never know when you're going to have to. Listen, my parents drove to Vegas once and there was an earthquake. They got into Barstow and they were going to fill up, which is what you normally do. And there had been an earthquake and they closed the gas pumps down.
So what'd they do?
They had to wait.
How long did they wait for?
I don't know, a few hours. Okay. So they went on to the next city.
And then you don't want to go swimming in the ocean because there's sharks. Is it better to avoid the ocean altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So now...
the ocean is not our natural habitat. It belongs to the fish. And
the sharks.
Yeah, well, shark is a fish.
Yeah.
So leave it to the fish.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
So now give me like the... because I know we've had times over the years where, if like I've gotten... bit by a mosquito or something, right? Or a bug bite. And then you'll say, I'll say, oh, what do you say? And you go, oh, yeah, that could be poisonous.
No, I don't say that.
You say that looks like a black widow bite.
I do not say that. Stop it. I really would not know how to identify a black widow bite from a brown recluse spider bite.
But I feel like, well, you know what I think it is? I think
both poisonous, by the way.
One of them has like, it's supposed to create like a target. Like a bullseye logo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's like rings.
Yeah, I'm not that. I mean, but here's the deal: is if you came to me and said, "Oh, look at this," and it was really ugly, I certainly would Google it and check it out.
And we'd find out.
Yeah, we'd find out if it was poisonous.
And then what is there? There's mosquitoes are spreading in California, West Nile or malaria.
West Nile. Yeah, we do have here in California. We're so lucky because we have this big, huge homeless problem. And so the luck that we get from having the homeless problem is that...
I'm fine. Keep going.
Is that...
I feel like this maybe needs to get sanded down a little bit.
Was it rough?
A little rough.
Oh, did it snag your fabric?
I felt like it snagged my fabric.
No, sorry. People don't know what we're talking about. We need to like videotape this.
I said that, and then you were like, "Oh, I don't want to do that because."
No, then I have to get dressed up.
Yeah.
For once a week. So what was I saying?
The homeless population.
Oh, the homeless population. Because of the great homeless population that we have here, we have an extraordinary large amount of rats. And with the rats comes things like bubonic plague and... Josh, I think maybe you need to get yourself a spoon or something.
I'm good. There, see, look, I got it. I found him.
He's looking for his olives, folks. And now he's chewing on one, which he really shouldn't be doing while he's recording. But anyway, so we have bubonic plague. We have, what's the other one that the fleas carry from the rats? These are flea-borne illnesses, and they're like ancient. We haven't had them for centuries, and now they're coming back. So, yeah, you stay away from homeless encampments. You stay away from places where the homeless people populate. Stay away from downtown LA, the city hall,
Don't
all
go
of
anywhere.
those buildings.
Don't even go anywhere near downtown LA.
Well, they had a gal who was I'm not really sure what she was, assistant district attorney or something, who actually got God, I can't think of what she got. See, I could have done some research on this.
It's probably better that you didn't, because you would have had like a book.
She got it wasn't bubonic plague. What's the other one though?
The Black Plague.
No, that's the same thing. It's not rabies.
Did she have the apocalypse infection?
No, but she got very sick, and it turned out that it was from the fleas that were in the city hall building, one of the city hall buildings. And she spoke out about it, and she got demoted. She got, oh my God, how dare you bring a health crisis to the attention of the public? Oh my God. What would we do if we knew?
So if you live in downtown LA, you should not have pets because pets have fleas and fleas carry plagues.
Well, no, I did not say that.
It sounded like what you said.
No.
Okay.
I said the flea infestation, the diseases that are carried by the fleas are coming from the rats. The rats do not get treated for fleas. Most of us treat our pets for fleas.
Okay.
Especially, I don't treat my cats, but...
Well, that you could be the problem.
Well, no, I don't take my cats out. My cats don't go out.
Do you think fleas can get in through cracks and crevices?
No, they can come in on your clothing, but...
Well, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, but I don't think that we have that many out there.
Okay, all right, fair enough. The sickness, in sickness and in health.
I think it was typhus.
Okay.
Is what this gal got. She said that her head... She had
ballooned up.
No, she had the worst headache, and she said that her headache was so bad it felt like people were taking knives and just sticking them in her head, and there was nothing that took care of the.
Isn't that acupuncture?
No, that's needles.
Oh, okay,
needles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It was crazy. I will tell you something weird is that during the early '80s. Our favorite band, The Shoulders, they went through kind of like a metal phase. They had kind of switched over from psychedelic funk rock, and they had a song called Flea Infestation.
Never heard of it.
It's hard.
Hard rock?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Hard to find?
No, well, it's on their B-side album.
Their B-side?
Yeah.
Yeah, bees are another problem, by the way. I've never been stung by a bee.
Have you really not?
No.
I was stung by a bee once.
I know, at the zoo.
No, I was not at the zoo. I was at a pool.
Didn't you get stung by a bee when you were a kid at the zoo? You did.
Oh, I don't remember that. So then that would be, I've been stung now twice then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got stung by a bee.
Did you suck the venom out with your lips?
No, you only do that with rattlesnake bites.
Which is another problem if you're going to go hiking.
That is a problem if you go hiking around here. Or even like at my mother's house. Like they have those really nice fruit trees on that bank. But there's like...
have you ever seen a rattler up there?
Not at my mom's, but I have seen them up in PV, yeah.
Okay.
And, in the springtime, they're like baby rattlers and they...
Do you hear them?
You can hear them, yeah.
Was that
But
good?
yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like the. Nobody can see it, but the hand.
This is the tail.
That's the rattlesnake. But the baby rattlesnakes are worse than the adults because they don't know how much venom to inject, and so they give you all of it. Yeah, it's dangerous. And like I said, when I go up there, if I go to pick fruit off the trees, I always make a lot of noise, or I take something and scrape it around the brush before I step up there, because there's like a covering where rattlesnakes could be hiding.
You know where your
my boots,
your protection,
your Doc
Wilders. You know where your Doc Wilders?
My Doc Martens. No, I don't wear those. The snake proof. No, but that's another problem here too.
Rattlesnakes and bees.
Yeah, I'm not really that concerned about bees, but like I said, I have never been stung, so I don't know if I would have an allergic reaction. So that does concern me at my age a bit. I don't really want to be around bees, but whatever. Wasps are even worse.
We do have a wasp problem.
We do?
Well, my old apartment, yeah. I mean, there was a whole, above, where I walked out, it was whatever this is,
the eaves of the house?
Kind of, yeah.
And there was paper mache things hanging down?
Or nests.
Yeah. Well, they look like paper mache balls.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They just funky, and then there would be wasps.
Why didn't you call your manager?
No, I had them come out and do something about it. I mean, I wasn't oh, let me take this on myself.
Well,
I've learned from you. You don't try to do that yourself.
No, I have actually shot wasps up at my dad's house. When you get the wasp bug spray, it's really cool because it does this big long stream. It's not like spray. It's a real it'll knock the wasp out of the air. It's really kind of fun. And
you shot wasps
out
of the air.
I have shot them up there because they had issues with those up there as well.
What a funny word. Wasps.
Wasps. No, that's rattlesnakes. So yeah, wasps could be a problem.
Okay, so don't swim in the ocean. Make sure
don't live in California.
Don't live in California.
Wildfires and earthquakes.
Well, but I mean, look, if you live on the East Coast, you're going to have blizzards, tornadoes, and hurricanes, right? We're in the South. That's not any better. Would you rather have earthquakes, or would you rather have hurricanes?
Apparently, hurricanes. Apparently, we have.
What about volcanoes? That's a problem. That's an issue.
Only if you live in a place where you have an active volcano,
island,
like Hawaii. Yeah.
God, could you imagine waking up in the morning and they're like, all right, so.
Or Mount St. Helens up in, is that in Washington?
Portland?
Yeah. Washington.
Arizona.
Portland is not in Washington. Portland, Maine?
Portland, Washington?
Portland, Oregon?
I think it's Portland, Washington.
No, it's not. Anyway, so yeah, volcanoes then. I wouldn't want to live near a volcano. With a volcano, though, you're probably going to get a lot of earth activity as well. So you're probably going to have earthquakes and volcanic eruptions.
That's not good.
Yeah, I remember when Sam went to Italy. She studied art and geology, and I remember a couple years after she got back there, they had a big earthquake in Italy, and I remember her and her friend were saying, God, our teacher would have been so excited to be there if, with that earthquake, because, that's what they want to experience. They want to actually experience the earthquake and the movement of the earth. And,
yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, shelves of the earth. So anyway, yeah, so I was glad they didn't have one when she was there.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't really like flying on airplanes either.
Oh, airplanes, because they could crash.
Well, I never was afraid to fly until I worked for an airline, and then I
had a friend he posted a statistic the other day. It said 80% of pilots have fallen asleep behind the wheel at some point, and then it said 40% of those pilots have woken up to find that their co-pilot is also sleeping.
Well, that's scary. I guess that just goes to show that you probably shouldn't take those long flights.
Shouldn't fly anywhere. You do an hour flight to SF or Vegas, and that's it.
Listen, I tell you, I really was never afraid to fly until there was one time when my father and I were flying. I think we had gone to Colorado to look at colleges together. and we were flying back. And when we were coming into LA, we were coming into land, and our airplane really like totally went sideways. And then it like straightened itself back up, and we landed okay. But my father said, and my father had done a lot of flying at that point, more than I had. And my father would tell the story like he really thought we were goners. He didn't think that the pilot was going to be able, especially at that altitude, to recover and, straighten the plane
Do you
out.
think he could have got behind the wheel and...
Listen, I worked for an airline in reservations for 10 years, and during those 10 years, we had 2 incidences. One of them was an airplane that was, let me think, flying, I think, from Arizona. Well, actually, we had 3 incidents. We actually had a plane crash in Detroit, which was really quite awful. And then we had 2 other close call incidences. But both of them were incidences where, like, in one of them, the pilot had the reserve tanks on instead of the main tanks on. And so the reserve tanks ran out of gas, and the plane actually shut off in the air. And then, of course, lost altitude, and then the pilot was able to switch the tanks over to the main tanks, and then they went on and landed fine. But I talked to these people on the phone, and I'm going to tell you, they were very descriptive about what happened inside the airplane during the crisis. They thought they were going to die. And it really gives you, pause to think
Weren't you
about
and Dad
that.
on a flight that was like really rocky? I wasn't there, and you thought you were never going to see me again?
No, when we went to Hong Kong, we flew from LA to Tokyo and then changed planes there and flew on to Hong Kong. From Tokyo to Hong Kong, it's about a 5-hour flight. And there was a typhoon in the Sea of China, which is where you fly. So it's quite turbulent and
Is
rough.
that where the Bermuda Triangle is?
No.
No, okay.
No, I would never fly over the Bermuda Triangle, by the way.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a real problem. So, and I don't think I'd take a boat there either.
No. What about a car?
Things disappear. Well, how are you going to get a car over the Bermuda Triangle?
Tesla.
It flies?
They could.
I didn't know that. So anyway, yes, so the flight was very turbulent, and you guys were young. Back in the day when...
We weren't on the flight.
No, but I was afraid that you were going to be parentless. I mean, I was afraid our plane was going to crash, seriously.
And then from that point on...
And I looked around, and all the flight attendants were these cute, young little girls. And I thought to myself, where is the old hag that has all the experience, the one that nobody wants to look at anymore, but really knows what to do in an emergency?
But then after that fact, you didn't ever fly. You didn't ever took a vacation with Dad ever again, because you guys would do it separate to make sure that if someone died, that the kids weren't parentless.
We often flew together. But what I was going to tell you is that was not an uncommon practice. Because I worked in reservations, I know that people would do that who had children, that the husband and wife would take separate flights in case one of them died.
Weird.
And I used to I asked my dad, I was like, so do you think that Fred and I my husband and I should take separate flights just in case something happens to one of us? And he goes, well, it could happen to the wrong one of you.
You never know. You never know how that's going to play out.
I was like, okay, maybe we should just go together. Maybe if both of us die together, it'd be better than... Anyway. So I didn't really have a fear of flying until I started working for the airlines. On top of that, you kind of hear stories about people not doing their job very well, like airline mechanics and stuff like that. And I know you want to believe it's safe up there, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe
Nikki's dad actually works. He does like airline mechanicalisms. Yeah, it's weird. All right, so let's recap because we're at like the 40 minute mark, and then I need to make some notes here as to what the absolute worst case scenario is for these things. So, if you live in don't live in California.
Well, I'm going to tell you one other thing real quick. I just was watching this show last night called Something's Killing Me.
Yes,
it's on HLN.
And look, and everyone listening, they wonder, wow, where did she get this from? This is
where I get it from. But what these people had in this show that almost killed them was lung ratworm.
Lung ratworm.
Lung ratworm.
Worm lung rat.
Something like that. It's all three of those words
Are you
together.
making this up?
No, I swear to God. And let me tell you where it comes from, because this is something that people should know. It comes from snails. It does. It comes from snails that go on your greenery, on your lettuce, and on your spinach. I swear, either you eat the snail because you don't know it's there, or they've just traipsed over your vegetables.
Remember,
and you don't wash them off very well.
Yeah, remember I had a head of lettuce that I bought one time.
Yeah.
And I had in like the fridge for a day, and I took it out and I was washing it.
Yeah.
And then there was like a half of a black caterpillar with like yellow ooze.
Oh, that's gross. You threw it away? Right?
I threw the lettuce away.
Yeah.
I ate the caterpillar.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then
Anyway,
I had cat lungworm.
Cat lungworm? No, it's rat lungworm, and it originates in rats, but somehow, I guess maybe the snails get it from the rat feces. And so then again, if the snail is infected with it, and it's very prevalent in Hawaii, which is interesting.
Not going there. Do snails poop?
Yes.
Do they have a butt?
They have something. They do poop.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, again, those are things, wash your greens, wash your lettuce.
Easy. Or buy them in a bag that they've been triple washed by someone else.
And they say they've been triple washed by someone
Probably
else.
haven't been.
I don't believe them.
Fuck them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't believe much of anything, actually. You tell me that, I'm gonna make sure that. I mean, I usually rewash all that stuff. You do too, don't you?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends.
I find sometimes when it's bagged, then when you open the bag, there's a odor to it. It's like that plastic odor.
Oh, typically when I open the bag, it's like a clean smell.
Well, you must be buying organic then. I don't get the clean smell. But I find if I rinse, then the smell goes away. Maybe it's just psychological.
So Europe has pickpockets.
Yes.
So don't go to Europe.
Ocean has sharks.
Ocean has sharks. So and what? And riptides
And jellyfish.
and jellyfish.
Oh, and tsunamis.
Oh, we didn't even get into tsunamis.
We didn't even get into
Fuck.
tsunamis. I'm not really afraid of tsunamis because I don't live that close to the ocean, but they can be very devastating. That was
Tidal waves. Is that a tsunami?
That's a tsunami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it called a tsunami?
I don't know. It's TS though.
Yeah, no.
I don't-
Tsunami.
Tsunami. Maybe it's a Asian word. Originated in Japan.
Earthquakes. Earthquakes in California.
Nuclear power plants. Shall we go on?
Yeah.
I keep thinking of things that could go wrong.
So
Chernobyl.
So nuclear power plants, that's just a complete meltdown. I mean, might as well just fucked. That's the end of the world, right?
Well, they're really bad during earthquakes and tsunamis,
Yeah.
as we found out in Japan, right?
What else did we discuss?
Chernobyl.
Bug bites.
Bug bites, spider bites, although I didn't really. Rattlesnakes. Lung ratworm. Rat lungworm.
Rat lungworm. My phone doesn't even know how to spell that. What else was there?
I don't know. Volcanoes, earthquakes, airplanes.
Airplanes are scary.
Airplanes. I know, it's a wonder I even get in my car and drive.
I was gonna say.
I'm afraid of that as well.
What happens if you go driving?
No, I'm not afraid to drive.
Okay, because you're in control.
Well, I think that is the thing on the airplane is that.
I was gonna ask you, like, with all of the. Well, I was gonna ask you, but before we, I don't want to. This is gonna go on forever, but. Do you think that this stuff all comes from the fact that, I mean, because this is kind of a crazy list a little bit, but do you feel like this all kind of comes from the fact that knowledge is power, that you want to know?
Yes, and I also think that.
Or is it more of like a paranoia thing?
No, because I don't run around paranoid like that. I don't live my life because, although I will say when it comes to flying, I'm kind of weird about it. I feel like if I don't really need to go, then why go? I'm not crazy about flying. Just you're crammed in. Oh my God. The last time I flew to Hawaii, it was just painful.
What year was that?
It's 2009. It's 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, it was just pain. I mean, it was just, it was just a long flight. Sitting there, you're cramped in, you can't move. Ugh. Claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, I flew home from New York last Thanksgiving, and it was like a 6-hour flight. It just sucks.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in coach, it's not fun.
I know. My brother wants me to come to New Zealand, and it's like, nah, I don't think I could deal with that long of a flight now. I mean, we did fly, I've flown to Hong Kong. That's like, I think it was between 16 and 18 hours going. It was shorter coming back, maybe 14 hours coming back. And then I've been on planes, like one time when your father and I went to Barbados, we've had some close calls on airlines. So our pilot overflew the airport, which made us miss our nonstop flight from San Juan to LA. So we ended up having to take a flight from San Juan to Miami to Atlanta to Dallas to LA, and that turned out to be like a 12-hour flight.
There would have been a fucking lawsuit right there.
Well, you're an airline employee. You fly standby.
No.
You have no rights to a lawsuit. And that's probably another reason I don't like to fly.
I think going to New Zealand would be fun. I think that we had to just pay a little extra.
First class.
Yeah.
Business class. Yeah. Well, somebody better strike it rich. We better make it. This podcast better work for us.
Well, and in saying that, if you guys could, please go and give us 5-star reviews on whatever podcast service you listen to. And if you listen to something other than on the podcast app on your iPhone, head over there anyway and give us a 5-star review.
That's what I was asking Josh today. I don't know. We both have iPhones, and our computers are Macs, and so what we get is what everybody who has an iPhone gets. I don't listen on Google Play or Spotify. I did look at YouTube the other night, and all the episodes are there, but it doesn't look like anybody ever listens to them.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people listen to podcasts on YouTube.
I know.
It's kind of it's cool. But
it was like sad to see it all lonely there with like no listeners, no shares.
I think that once we start doing like video stuff of the episodes, I think that people will be into it. So
we'll have to get one of those lights, the halo light.
I thought you were going to say like an on-air light.
No, a halo light to make me look young.
Oh, you don't look a day over 49.
There you go. That's why I picked that age.
I know. All right, so that's the worst case scenario according to Sandy. To my mom, Sandy.
It's too bad we didn't have Samantha because she probably could have added a lot of.
She's busy. She's a busy bee.
A lot of childhood phobia type things. What I was going to say is that I think that when you become a parent, that you are a little bit more concerned about things like that, because now it's not just your safety, but it's the safety of your children. And I think that's a big responsibility. So yes, if you investigate what to do during an earthquake, or you have an earthquake plan, we should have an earthquake plan. Do you have one?
Yeah, get the fuck out of the house. Unless it's a big one and the street opens up. What if
you're at work? You're going to come home, right?
Well, yeah, after
I'm willing to leave my mother's house to come home after an earthquake.
I appreciate that.
Make sure that my son and my cats are okay.
I had a dream the other night that I was playing hockey and a skate cut my leg.
Aye.
And it like almost like severed my whole my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so last night when I had a hockey game last night, and the whole time I was like, well, this is gonna happen. And there was like one point where like,
did you feel like it was a premonition?
A little bit, yeah. There was one point where like another skater had fallen, and he was like his feet were going towards me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. Both my legs is gonna get cut off. Didn't you
jump out of the way? Didn't you be like, oh my god, my dream is coming true?
I tried, but he like hit my feet, and then I fell on my butt. And I got back up.
Hockey's dangerous too. I do worry about you when you go play.
You don't even come.
No, I don't want to see you get hurt.
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, pretty safe.
Pretty safe. Wood, maybe don't. Yeah, I'm knocking on wood
Okay, thank you.
See, knock on wood that he'll be safe while he plays hockey.
All right, do you want to tell everyone all the good stuff, and then we'll
yeah,
let them go?
5-star reviews. Yeah, we were wondering if there are ways to rate us on Google Play or Spotify. I don't know because we don't do Spotify. I guess we could go to Google Play, and check it out. But yeah, 5-star ratings, please. I haven't seen any new ones for a while, or any new comments, or any new countries where we're being listened to. So I don't know what the hell my brother in New Zealand is.
Yeah, he needs to get on it. And if they want to interact with us on Instagram, Mom?
It's My Mom Sandy podcast My Mom Sandy at I don't know.
At My Mom Sandy podcast.
At My Mom Sandy podcast?
On Instagram, yeah.
Oh, that's what you have to do? You have to type in at My Mom Sandy?
Well, everyone, their handle, they have a little at.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's at, yeah, I don't really get the Instagram thing so much.
It's okay.
Don't know how to post things.
Right. So, but if they wanted to find us on Instagram.
At My Mom Sandy podcast.
Right. Perfect. And then if they wanted to email us.
My Mom Sandy podcast at gmail.com.
Look at that, huh? You
Look,
think
I'm
you're
getting
such a
good.
beaut.
And he didn't even write that down for me.
Not written down. No. And you've been drinking.
I know.
Yeah.
Oof.
Poof. All right. Well, that's the worst.
Next week we'll get a better Bloody Mary mix, so you don't have to hear us gripe about the hotness of the spiciness of the mix. Oof.
Oof.
So anyway, okay, well, everybody have a great week.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario, according to my mom, Sandy. And we've got some fun episodes coming up. We're going to do a live episode at 20, so hopefully we got some people calling in and talking to us. And we have some exciting guests lined up that once I figure out how to work all that, then we're going to do it.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking about our we were talking about a hockey guest. And
Our mystery calling.
I don't know that I'm not feeling very warm and fuzzy about the Kings right now, so.
Well, maybe don't tell him that.
Well, you know what? It's tough to get excited when, I just feel like it's deja vu. It's just everything from last year so far.
It's because he's not playing.
Well, apparently a lot of people aren't playing or they aren't playing well. So anyway, everybody have a great week. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe out there. And, all right. Very good.